Alrighty, so the 9th anniversary is a mere days away. We have reached, I believe, 2 days until it starts, and then 3 days for the banners. So, what I wanted to do in today's video is take a little bit of a trip to the past and to the present as time goes on, and rate each anniversary character that has dropped. Now, some ground rules for this video: we are not going to be counting free-to-play characters, farmable characters like you see on the tab here. If we pull up my cursor, right, you see all these characters here. We are not going to be counting stuff like this, but we are going to be counting all of the major headliners, being part 1 and part 2 units. Easy A's will have to be something separate, but that is going to be the quick ground rule for this video. We're just going to be talking about them, the choices, their impact on the game, and then giving them a score. So let's go ahead and get started with the first anniversary, and that is going to be STR Gogeta and Int Janemba. Now, we'll start with Int Janemba, just because I think this will be a little bit quicker. I think my kind of thoughts on this character, especially as time has gone on, this is one of the better aging Easy A's throughout the game. This is a character that came out in 2016 on JP, and lasted probably until 2020 with his Easy A. Even maybe a little bit further than that. It's kind of tough to say, but I know that his Easy A for a long time was very usable, and that obviously is going to speak very highly of an anniversary character. But I kind of like this theme that they went with here with Super Gogeta versus Janemba, because this is something that they really haven't revisited much in trends throughout the anniversaries, right? We really don't see many extreme characters headlining anniversaries these days. Now, obviously with the 9-year, we had Broly, but that was the first time in a while for like a part 1 or a headliner for an anniversary where we saw like an extreme character. And you guys are going to see that as we continue throughout this video, that, you know, characters like Janemba are pretty rare. And I think this is a solid choice for a character. He ended up aging very well, had good mechanics, but Janemba isn't exactly somebody that people are going to be super excited to summon for. So all in all, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. And then Gogeta, for the time being, this is how you do an anniversary. The best character in the game by a wide margin. It is said by a lot of people, it's either you pulled him or you re-rolled. We won't spend too much time on him, but obviously Super Gogeta, very good choice for an anniversary unit. You can't really go wrong with this choice. So we're going to give him an easy 9.5 out of 10, just because I think that there are better ones down, and I don't think this would be the perfect anniversary, right? Because the game is still at a lower point, and we had a ways to go. So I think these are great characters, great choices, a good way to start off an anniversary. But all in all, for that anniversary, I think, what, 9.5 and 6, you know, somewhere in like the 7 to 8 range would be about where the average rounds out. So that's where we're going to start with the first anniversary. Let's move on to the second anniversary. Now, this one, if you guys remember, the headliners were this Goku as well as this Vegeta, and then a big character that we're also going to have to be rating is a summonable LR with LR Gohan, who we'll be looking at in a moment. But let's just start with Vegeta. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, always kind of been in the shadow of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, unfortunately. It's just kind of the way things go with Vegeta. Great choice. Obviously, the Super Saiyan 4s are iconic. People love them. This one, well, we're going to go 8 out of 10. Great choice. Can't really say much about it. LR Gohan, we'll just kind of go to him next. His character is an LR. Very good, but very controversial, right? In the sense that if you guys have seen his OG 18 key animation, it is literally, it looks like the devs, they took the drawing of, or whatever they used for the walk for the Kamehameha, and they took it, they put it on a popsicle stick, and they went up and down to make it look like he was walking, right? That's kind of what they tried to do for the Father-Son Kamehameha, but a cool LR summonable Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, one of maybe my favorite moment in Dragon Ball as time has kind of went on, and I thought about it. The Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I'm going to give this one an easy 9.5, and the only reason it's not a 10 is the fact that he does not have his animation was not that great. But going back up to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, again, great choice. Who doesn't love Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Super Saiyan 4s throughout the history of these games have been, you know, so highly rated, so demanded, and always end up doing pretty well. People love, they hate GT, but they love Super Saiyan 4. So we'll give Goku a little bit of a higher score. We'll go 8.5 out of 10. I think very good choices, and people really like the second anniversary. Kind of to briefly touch on it, I guess, there was a world tournament in there, but some of these characters that dropped, if you have this Goku, that's pretty cool. He Dokkan awakened then, but there's not events on this, but this is exactly what we were looking for. So again, the second anniversary, around like an 8. I think that's a good score for them. Let's go ahead and move on to the third anniversary. And the third anniversary was significant in its own right, because it brought a new concept. Now, we've had summonable LRs up to this point, but we have not had summonable Dokkan Fest exclusive LRs, and these were the first of their kind, being, you guys can see, fusing Gogeta as well as fusing Vegito. For me, we're just going to rank these because these are very similar units, especially in base, but when they go into the fusions is when they're going to separate. But we're going to keep this one pretty simple. This is going to be an easy 9 out of 10 for me. Great choice, Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, you cannot go wrong. You could do that every year for the anniversary, and people, I don't think, would be upset. It's always going to work. This format for the characters is always going to be good, and we've seen better renditions of them in the future. So I think that really helps. These characters were both obviously phenomenal at the time. This is before my time of playing the game, so I can't speak as much on the kits at the time, but I can at least go from the choices and the picks in specific on what I think about the anniversary characters. I think a fusing Vegito and a fusing Gogeta, solid choices. Who isn't excited for this? Just scrolling through this so we don't miss anything. You guys are seeing here, we got the free-to-play LR, or the free-to-play Ginyu Force that came with this as well. So that is pretty hype as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the 4th anniversary. This was kind of like a little bit of my time when I started to kind of get into the game a little bit. And this brought an updated version of the 2nd year anniversary, essentially. And it gave us LR forms that look badass. These are still some of my favorite, like, card assets in the, or unit assets in the game, where it's like just like the small version of the art. I just think these look so badass. What's it called? I think easily for this one, if I gave the last ones an 8, I'm going to give these ones a 9. These are just the upgraded versions of the Super Saiyan 4s. And a 10 will be coming later for the Super Saiyan 4s. But very good characters. These are some of the best in the game. These guys were putting up insane attack stats, and then Kale and Caulifla, I believe, existed at the same time, so it kind of overshadowed them a little bit, but phenomenal characters, leading Goku family and Vegeta family, as well as category, or as typings. Super sick units, awesome choice. Like, you just, Super Saiyan 4s, you cannot go wrong with. Just scrolling through right here, you guys can see they also did, 9 out of 10, by the way. And part 2, 6, I'm gonna hit it flat out, 6 out of 10, right? LR Baby is cool, but the GT Trio, you know, I like the characters. Baby, and then obviously Pan, Trunks, and Goku are cool as well. But when it comes to anniversary, I don't know if this is the time to do them, but it did correspond with the part 1 theme, so it completely makes sense, right? So that's why I have these characters here. Baby had the grade 8 mechanic, was very good. These guys led the Dragon Ball Seekers category. Nothing too crazy, but it is what it is, right? Very good characters. Easily could see them. They both had decent EZAs, and this guy is still a staple on the GT Bosses team, whatever that means, right? So that's the 2nd anniversary. We also got this free Goku, but we're not worried about that in this one. So all in all, I think around, like, if we just were to rate this one, I think this anniversary was an 8.5 out of 10. Now, we're starting to get to the big boys here. The 5th year. The 5th year EZA. What did it bring us? It brought us something special, right? When it comes to, like, the pinnacle of hype, I think this is it right here, right? Some of the most insanely hyped units you could ask for. This, for me, easily is a 9.5 out of 10, because I believe these characters could have been a little bit better than what they were. Obviously, very, very good, right? 9.5, I think the choice was perfect. I think the characters were very good, some of the best in the game. But they were, what I didn't really like about them is how similar they were, but they've always been doing this with the anniversary. This is nothing new. I didn't really feel like you were summoning for that different of a character. It was just, you pick the fusion that you like more to prioritize, right? And I guess there is some beauty in that, where it's like you really can just pick the one you want, and it's not like objectively you should be summoning for one character as other anniversaries have been. But what I think, again, I don't believe they were just like clear 1 and 2 at the time with the hype, right? Or they were just off the hype, I believe we probably were saying that, but like they didn't age very well until they got their EZAs, when they became just absolute like nukes. But yeah, I think 9.5 is still where I'd put them, right? If they were like, you know, a little bit different in variety, and they had some more like defining properties to their base forms, I think this would have been a little bit better for me. But when they do go into blue, they kind of differentiate a little bit in terms of each other, and I think that is why they're just not a 10 out of 10, but again, a very, very, very good choice. Transforming Gogeta blue, transforming Vegito blue, you know, we were talking about Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, you could just do this every year, and people would probably be okay with it, right? Like, some people would complain, but at the end of the day, it would still probably work every year. So that is why I have these characters as high as I do. This is one of my favorite anniversaries, for sure, and this was actually when I started my JP account, so there is some nostalgia with this one, right? Now, part 2, Rosé and the Broly trio. I think this should have been like a full power Broly or a Super Saiyan Broly, But Rose, obviously, like Vegito Blue, Gogeta Blue, Rose, like they were swinging during this anniversary, and that is obviously good. And then this Broly right here, Rose, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10 because he had some flaws, and same thing with the Broly trio, but I'm going to give the Broly trio a 7. Because, again, I think it just should have been a better version of Broly that was a little bit more exciting to kind of tie this whole thing together. Because this character is kind of Polar Bear in Arlington, Texas, right? Like, it's just like Gogeta Blue, Vegito Blue, Rose, and then the Broly trio, right? Broly trio is super cool, but not on the level of these other characters. These are mammoths, like top 10 most popular characters in the series now, so... That is why I think all in all, this anniversary is an easy 9, but let's go ahead and move on to my favorite character, UI Goku, during the 6th anniversary. This guy right here, 10 out of 10. My favorite character, was the best unit in the game, aged very well, was basically the best unit in the game for a year. Perfect. Mwah, chef's kiss, right? Evolution Blue Vegeta, number 2 in the game. You know, people like to kind of say that he wasn't very good on release because he wasn't perfect in the God event, but I still think that this was easily the second best character in the game. He had very similar offensive output to what UI Goku could do, and defensively he was just okay. I think his the damage reduction resetting was really kind of this character's Achilles heel, but UI Goku had one as well, right? If he didn't dodge, a lot of the times he would get you killed. So you have to keep that in mind, right? These characters both had their balances, but they were both extremely broken, and two of the best units in the game, right? 1 and 2 respectively. And I think that was made for a really fun time. I really like the Tournament of Power, so all the emphasis on this for the Universal Survival Saga, all this stuff was really fun. I enjoyed this anniversary a ton. For me, right here, in terms of like, I'm going to give the choices on this one a 9.75, right? I can't give it a 10 because there's only one. I think I'm only giving 2 anniversaries a 10 on this list, but very, very good, right? And then we go to part 2. Still tying in the Universe 17, but just not on the same level of what UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta were. They were not like 3 and 4, and the hype was definitely nowhere near as where it was for part 1. So that one kind of does mark this one down for me, but this was still a very fun anniversary, and 2 fun characters, right? I'd give this character like a 6.5, and I'd give this character like a 5.5, right? Like, these characters were cool, but nowhere near like a Rose level for a part 2, or the 9th anniversary part 2, which we'll be getting to soon, but still very good choice. This is probably still like one of my favorite anniversaries just because I'm a big UI Goku fan. So that is why I have this anniversary where I do. Now, the first 10 out of 10. 7th anniversary. I think the 7th anniversary brought us some of the coolest characters that we still have in the game to this day, fusing Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, and then transforming, pseudo-fusing LR Blue Duo. Awesome characters, great choice. You know, go double Gogeta, essentially. Cannot go wrong with that. Awesome characters, very similar in base, but then they highly differentiate in the other version where the blues would be focused on dodge. This guy, the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, would be more focused on damage reduction and countering a super attack. Very cool, very unique characters. Both brought the 200% leader skills, had action breaks, very fun characters overall. And then part 2, very cool moments, not great kits, right? Because Goku and Vegeta was clearly the theme, and Goku vs. Vegeta from the Saiyan Saga, very good choice. I mean, this is something that fans have been clamoring for a while, and I have to at least mention that, right? And Super Saiyan, or Kaioken Goku and Grade 8 Vegeta, very good choice. I wish they would have been a little bit better than what they were, but it is what it is, right? All in all, I think this anniversary was a 10 out of 10 for me. I had a great time with this one. It was super fun. The hype was there. The units were great. It brought forth new difficult content that, of the likes that we have never seen before, and these characters were perfectly suited to take it on. So that is why I have this anniversary as high as I do. Let's move on to the 8th anniversary. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan. I'll shoot you straight on that. I was not that excited when I found out it was going to be Double Spirit Bomb. Is the Super Spirit Bomb iconic? Is it something awesome? Absolutely. Is the Kid Buu fight awesome? Absolutely. Is it an anniversary headliner with the likes of Gogeta Blue, Super Vegito, Super Gogeta, the end of the Tournament of Power? Maybe that's a little bit of a reach for the Tournament of Power bit, but Superhero, Dragon Ball Super Broly, right? I just don't know. I think, and I also don't like the fact that there was a big gap between the characters, right? The GT duo was marginally better than the Buu duo, and that, I think, I don't like when there's a big discrepancy between, or a big gap between the units, because it just feels like you should be only summoning for one character, right? On JP, I can guarantee you this, more people were excited to summon for the Buu duo when they came out, right? But when it came around to global, everybody's like, no, summon for the GT duo, they're way better, right? So that kind of leads to a bit of a problem, just because it's nowhere near as exciting when, you know, it's like, oh, I should just be summoning for the better character rather than the one I probably actually want, because the Universal Spirit Bomb is not an anniversary moment. Let's be real with each other here. Kid Goku throwing the Spirit Bomb at Omega Shenron is not anniversary, right? The moment is cool, but it's not anniversary. And then for part 2, openings, not my thing. Cool, right? Kai Goku, cool unit. Opening, Dragon Ball Z opening for Kid Gohan, cool. Like, fine characters, very good. Just not there in terms of, like, what we've seen recently. Was the celebration phenomenal? Was the content good? Yes. Was the hype there for me? No. Was the hype there for some? Sure. Easy A's, pretty good. The 5-year Easy A's really felt like the real anniversary units, if I'm being honest. But still, all in all, solid. I would give this anniversary. The character choices, like overall, like a 7.5, right? So, with that being said, I have to pull up this separately because it's not on the wiki. But just give me one moment. We're going to the 9th anniversary. I'm sure you know what I'm going to say. Okay, so website I was using, a little bit funky, but it's all good. We'll just use the wiki. We don't even really need to translate it because that's not what we're here for. Gogeta Blue, 9th anniversary. You guys know this is the best anniversary ever. No doubt about it. I think I could easily say that. They didn't miss on anything in terms of the character choices. Celebration's good. Part 1, Part 2 hype staying there. All characters damn good. All characters damn hype. There's just no missing here. I think, you know, call it recency bias, call it what you want. I don't think there is really much there. This Blue Gogeta, phenomenal. You know, one of the best characters in the game. Cool mechanics, all of that. This Broly right here, same idea, right? Awesome animations, super good kit, great leader skill, all that. Again, kit, not really the big deal, but we at least have to talk about the characters being good, right? This guy, when he gets in his domain, is just he's in sicko mode. He's amazing. Beast Gohan, you guys know, best character of all time. It's not even close. This is the best character they've ever released. Super hype. Not really much to talk about there. And then we have the Gammas, right? Again, super well done character. Awesome support for the best team in the game. This anniversary right here, the 9th anniversary, 11 out of 10. I'll rank it over. It broke the scale. It was that good. I really think that. So there we go. Every anniversary character ranked on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know what you guys thought down below. I think this was a fun video. Maybe you guys don't know some of the stuff that they did. I try not to overwhelm you with information and just give you like some little fun facts and stuff like that as the video went on. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, leave a like and subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you all in the next one.